In the final hours of John Belushi's life, a group of unexpected individuals found themselves in his presence. These unlikely celebrities, who were not typically associated with Belushi's world, shared a unique bond with him during that fateful night. Their stories reveal a side of Belushi that many may not have known, showcasing his charm and charisma even in his darkest moments. As the night unfolded, laughter and camaraderie filled the air, masking the underlying struggles that Belushi faced. Conversations flowed, and the atmosphere was lively, yet there was an unspoken tension that lingered. Each of these individuals had their own reasons for being there, drawn into Belushi's orbit by friendship, admiration, or a shared love for the entertainment industry. Despite the joy of the evening, the shadows of addiction loomed large. The vibrant energy that Belushi exuded was often countered by the demons he battled. Those who were with him that night witnessed a complex man, full of life yet teetering on the edge. Their memories serve as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life, and the impact of choices made in moments of vulnerability. In the end, the stories of these unlikely companions paint a vivid picture of a man who was both a comedic genius and a tragic figure, leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate. The night they spent together would become a haunting memory, forever etched in their minds as the last moments shared with a beloved friend. Achieving fame through his remarkable performances on Saturday Night Live, John Belushi became a household name. His talent shone brightly in iconic films like Animal House and The Blues Brothers, where his energetic and comedic style captivated audiences. However, behind the laughter and success lay a darker side. Belushi struggled with long periods of depression and overindulgence, which ultimately took a toll on his life. His battle with substance abuse became increasingly evident, leading to a tragic end. In 2019, author and historian Sean Levy published a book titled The Castle on Sunset, which delves into the life and untimely death of John Belushi. The book paints a vivid picture of Belushi's time at the famed Chateau Marmont, a place that became synonymous with his struggles and his brilliance. Through Levy's work, readers gain insight into the complexities of Belushi's life, the pressures of fame, and the circumstances that led to his premature passing. The narrative serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges faced by those in the spotlight. The novel about John Belushi is reportedly in development as an HBO show, with John Krasinski and Aaron Sorkin taking on the roles of producer and writer. This adaptation aims to bring to life the intense and tragic story of Belushi, a beloved comedian and actor known for his work on Saturday Night Live and in films like Animal House. The book delves into the days leading up to Belushi's overdose, providing a detailed account of his struggles with addiction and the pressures of fame. It paints a vivid picture of his life, showcasing both his comedic genius and the darker aspects that ultimately led to his untimely death. The narrative captures the chaotic energy of Belushi's final days, offering insights into his relationships, his work, and the events that unfolded on the night of his tragic passing. This adaptation promises to be a poignant exploration of a complex figure whose legacy continues to resonate in the world of entertainment. Belushi was known for his wild lifestyle, marked by heavy partying and a penchant for excess. He often surrounded himself with a crowd that included prostitutes, which contributed to his dangerous way of living. This lifestyle was not a secret. Many people in his life were aware of the risks he was taking. Friends and colleagues often witnessed his reckless behavior, but did little to intervene. Some even enabled his habits, choosing to indulge in the party atmosphere rather than confront him about his choices. This environment of acceptance and lack of accountability allowed Belushi to continue down a path that was ultimately destructive. The people around him, whether out of fear, admiration, or a desire to maintain their own fun, often turned a blind eye to the consequences of his actions. This created a cycle where Belushi's dangerous lifestyle was not only tolerated but, in some cases, encouraged. The combination of his charisma and the enabling behavior of those around him contributed to a tragic narrative that many saw unfolding, but felt powerless to change. On the night of March 5th, Robert De Niro and Robin Williams made their way to John Belushi's bungalow, drawn by the allure of the Hollywood party scene and the promise of cocaine. This visit was not unusual, as the drug culture of the 70s and 80s in Hollywood was notorious for its excesses. Celebrities often mingled in a world where drugs were readily available and frequently used. Belushi, known for his wild antics and larger-than-life personality, was a central figure in this environment. His bungalow became a hotspot for fellow actors and comedians seeking a good time, often fueled by substances that were part of the era's lifestyle. The fascination with drugs among stars like De Niro and Williams highlighted the pressures and temptations of fame. The atmosphere was one of indulgence, where the lines between creativity and excess blurred. Belushi's life and career were emblematic of this turbulent time, reflecting both the brilliance of his talent and the darker side of celebrity culture. That night was marked by a tragic turn of events as John Belushi passed away, leaving a profound impact on those who knew him. The visit by Robert De Niro and Robin Williams earlier that evening adds a layer of poignancy to the story. Belushi was a brilliant actor and comedian known for his larger-than-life personality and incredible talent. However, beneath the surface, he struggled with emotional and psychological issues that often accompany creative genius. Many artists face similar challenges, and Belushi was no exception. He battled with bouts of depression that affected his life and career. Despite his success, he often felt a deep sense of sadness and isolation. This internal struggle was compounded by the pressures of fame and the lifestyle that came with it. His tragic end serves as a reminder of the complexities of mental health, especially in those who bring joy to others through their art. The combination of his genius and his struggles paints a vivid picture of a man who was both celebrated and deeply troubled. At the time of his death, John Belushi found himself in a challenging phase of his career. He had recently starred in 2 films, Continental Divide and Neighbors, both of which did not perform well at the box office. This underwhelming reception led him into a depressive funk, as he grappled with the pressures of fame and the expectations that came with it. Seeking solace and a fresh start, Belushi checked into a bungalow at the Chateau Marmont, a place known for its connection to Hollywood's elite. His intention was to focus on writing a script for his next movie, hoping to channel his creativity into a project that could revive his career. The atmosphere of the bungalow, with its mix of luxury and isolation, provided him a space to reflect on his past work and envision new characters and stories. However, the weight of his recent setbacks loomed large, making it difficult for him to find the inspiration he desperately sought. The struggle between his talent and the reality of his situation created a tension that would ultimately define his final days. Struggling with writing something he liked, John Belushi faced mounting pressure from executives at Paramount. They were anxious about the progress of his work, and this stress weighed heavily on him. Belushi, known for his larger-than-life personality and comedic talent, found himself at a crossroads. The creative block he experienced led to frustration, and in a moment of weakness, he turned back to his old vices. The allure of alcohol and drugs became too strong to resist, pulling him into a familiar but dangerous cycle. As the days passed, Belushi spent his last week indulging in a whirlwind of partying. The nights were filled with laughter and chaos, but beneath the surface, there was a deep sense of turmoil. Friends and colleagues noticed the change in him, but the vibrant energy that once defined his life was now overshadowed by his struggles. The combination of creative pressure and substance use created a perfect storm, leading to a tragic end that many would remember as a cautionary tale. Frequent visits to places like the Rainbow Bar and Grill and Dan Tana's became a regular part of John Belushi's life. These spots were known for their lively atmosphere and celebrity clientele, making them ideal hangouts for someone like Belushi. While he enjoyed the nightlife, his wife, Judy, who remained in New York City, held a glimmer of hope that he was making strides with his script. She wanted to believe that he was channeling his energy into something productive, despite the challenges he faced. However, the reality of his situation was more complicated. His manager, Bernie Brillstein, was deeply concerned about Belushi's well-being. When Belushi asked for $1,500 to buy a guitar, Brillstein was skeptical, suspecting that the money was intended for drugs rather than music. Initially, he refused to give in to the request, wanting to protect Belushi from himself. Eventually, though, he relented, illustrating the struggle between wanting to support a friend and the fear of enabling destructive behavior. The dynamics of Belushi's life were a mix of creativity, concern, and the constant pull of temptation. Robert De Niro made a genuine effort to help his friend John Belushi during a difficult time. Concerned for Belushi's well-being, De Niro decided to visit him at his bungalow, accompanied by actor Harry Dean Stanton. They hoped that a change of scenery would help Belushi clear his head and regain some sense of stability. However, upon arriving, De Niro was met with a shocking sight. The bungalow was in complete disarray, a reflection of the chaos that had taken over Belushi's life. Amidst the mess, he found a woman named Kathy Smith, who was part of the tumult surrounding Belushi at that time. The scene was overwhelming, and De Niro realized that the situation was more serious than he had anticipated. The state of the bungalow and the presence of Smith led him to feel that it was best to leave, as he understood that Belushi was in a place where help might not be welcomed. De Niro's visit highlighted the struggles Belushi faced, as well as the concern his friends had for him during those turbulent days. De Niro ran into Robin Williams at a club one night. The atmosphere was lively, filled with laughter and the sounds of music. But the conversation took a serious turn when De Niro mentioned John Belushi's troubling state. Concerned for his friend, Williams felt compelled to check on Belushi. Late that night, he made his way to Belushi's room, where the mood was heavy and the air thick with tension. Upon entering, Williams found Belushi in a vulnerable state. They exchanged a few words, a mix of concern and camaraderie, but the conversation was brief. In a moment of shared indulgence, they did some cocaine together, a fleeting escape from the pressures surrounding them. After a short while, Williams left, knowing that the bond they shared was complicated by the struggles Belushi faced. The visit was a poignant reminder of the challenges that often lurked behind the laughter and fame, leaving a lasting impression on both men. On the morning of March 5th, a tragic scene unfolded when Bill Wallace, John Belushi's trainer and bodyguard, discovered him unconscious in his bungalow. The atmosphere was heavy with concern as Wallace immediately sought help. Paramedics arrived swiftly, but the gravity of the situation was evident. As they worked to revive the beloved actor, the news spread quickly. The press, always eager for a story, gathered outside the hotel, their cameras ready to capture every moment. They witnessed the somber sight of Belushi's body being wheeled out by paramedics, a stark reminder of the fragility of life. The scene was chaotic, with reporters clamoring for information, trying to piece together what had happened to the vibrant star known for his energy and humor. Belushi's untimely collapse shocked fans and friends alike, leaving a void in the entertainment world that would be felt for years to come. The press coverage that followed would highlight not only the tragedy of his passing, but also the struggles he faced in his life, painting a complex picture of a man who brought joy to many. Belushi died of an overdose after taking a speedball, which is a dangerous mix of cocaine and heroin. This tragic event shocked many in the entertainment industry. Robert De Niro, a close friend, was deeply concerned about Belushi's well-being. On the morning of Belushi's death, De Niro repeatedly called his hotel room, hoping to reach him. When he could not get an answer, he contacted the front desk, only to learn the heartbreaking news of Belushi's passing. De Niro was not alone in his concern. Robin Williams was also among the last people to see Belushi alive. Their friendship and shared experiences in the world of comedy and film made the loss even more profound. The news of Belushi's death sent ripples through Hollywood, leaving many to reflect on the struggles he faced. His talent was undeniable, but the pressures of fame and personal demons ultimately led to a tragic end. The memories of his vibrant personality and comedic genius continue to resonate with fans and friends